finish a journal, but just sending me still the images. Please try to format it this way. And I'd say this week is still pretty light in terms of assignments or expectations. So I would like for you guys to continue meeting with me individually. I think that few meetings that I had with students in person, I think that was beneficial just to troubleshoot the issues that you might have it's specific to you and how I can help you. I don't know, Chantal and Jess, what do you think? Was that like the meeting with me individually was helpful to you? So I would really recommend that you guys talk to me or set up the meeting. I do the Zoom, and then we go over specific things that are that you need to address. I'm still finishing the grading, so some of you get all the grading up to now. Some of you are going to get in next couple of days. I was just not feeling well by the end of this week, so including today. So I'm trying to kind of move on that so that you see where you're at and to help you with suggestions how to improve the grade. So in each assignment, you have the grading points and the suggestion what needs to be improved if you want to have a higher grade. So that's number 2, call for action. So email me when would you like to meet with me, and we'll set that up. Okay. So Daniela, how do you feel? Would you like to do the presentation?
Yes.
Another thing, guys, please remember to send me Pecha Kucha, designer that you would like to do, and which Monday would you like to present. This is just a reminder that from now on we will meet every Monday, and we'll have Pecha Kucha, and then we'll have like updates and kind of troubleshooting questions or issues that we're dealing with, individual or as a group. Sometimes we had like the same questions. Daniela, can you share the screen?
Yeah.
Guys, is that okay? Awesome.
Can everyone hear me?
I don't know why we cannot hear you. Are you talking?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so I just start. So I did my presentation on Cindy Lamaro, a light designer from the United States, and she resides in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with her husband, Christopher Popovich, and she designs for theater, opera, dance, and architecture as well. So further, Cindy is a design partner in CNC Lighting, which she established along with her husband, Christopher. She is also a professor of lighting design at Carnegie Mellon University in the schools of drama and architecture. So for her education, she went to the University of Michigan, where she obtained her Bachelor of Arts in Theater and English in 1974. Then she went to Florida State University, where she obtained her Master of Fine Arts in Lighting Design in 1978 as well. So for her awards, she received the Henry van de Velde Award for Architectural Education in Antwerp in 2007, and she is also a featured speaker at the Architectural Lighting Master Classes in New York and the Prague Quadrennial, and many more places where she has also spoken. Cindy's designs have also been displayed in two international exhibits, the World Stage Design in 2005 and the Prague Quadrennial in 2007. Her work is also published in the 2011 edition of Stage Lighting, Fundamentals and Application, amongst others. She received a grant of $20,000 by the Knuckles Fund for the year 2013 and 2014. With this money, she was able to go to a selected number of universities where she would teach workshops about lighting design to the students at each school. Something she was challenged with was whether or not theater was a good career path since she had never taken a theater class prior to university. So she worked in the theater for 2 years and figured out that it was her passion, and would later go on to earn her master's in lighting design. Her main focus in theater is lighting and the visual effects that can be created by the application of lighting techniques such as demonstrating intensity, angle, color, and movement, as well as using light to create time, place, and mood as well. She has always been fascinated by the beauty and magic of light and feels it has the same emotional qualities as writing and telling a story. In her designs, she uses LED sources such as white LEDs and color changing LEDs in her designs and productions. In her designs and productions, she usually uses color schemes as well. These color schemes are created with light sources such as the LEDs and used to create mood, time, and place, which are essential elements in bringing a theater production to life on the stage. Most of Cindy's theater productions are performed on the classical proscenium stage, in which the audience gets a front view of the production, and the proscenium arch, which is like a picture frame through which we see the story unfold before our eyes as the audience. Something I personally noticed from her theater productions is that they don't have much lighting. They are usually pretty dark, and there are also scenes where there's a big group of people at one time on the stage. Like we see here, these are all from different productions, and there's big groups of people. And then here we see one of her productions called Crucifer of Blood, performed on a proscenium stage. On the left, we see the use of a white or blue light to make it seem like it's nighttime. On the right, we see a red light, which can mean danger or anger, depending on the context of the production being displayed. Here we see another production called Observe the Sons of Ulster Marching Towards the Somme, and we can see minimal use of lighting here. All she uses is a white light to draw attention to a specific character on the stage or a certain place on the stage as well. In this production, we can see the use of color schemes on the stage walls. We have a pink, purple, and reddish color scheme on the left, and then on the right, the color scheme changes, probably meaning a change of location, time, or mood within the production. Another focus for Cindy was architectural lighting design. This is what she would help teach students in her workshops. And her workshops offered an understanding of what light can do and its effects on visual perception and mood, which is important to consider in theater. Here we can enjoy some of her architectural designs. At the top, we can see the Randy Posh Memorial Bridge, co-designed with her husband, Christopher. And we can see her touch of in the lighting design as the bridge lights up and changes color to a single or multiple colors. Here we see another design, the Hunt Library. It also changes color, and on the red and green lights that we see on the right are for Christmas. And we can also see the Gulf Tower at the bottom, which was also co-designed along with her husband, Christopher. And so I chose Cindy because she is a teacher and I am also an aspiring Spanish high school teacher. And I liked how she was involved in teaching people from many schools instead of limiting herself to one school, and how she offered hands-on learning, which is very important for education. And then my aha moment came after reading an article where they quoted her and it said, the transition to the real world comes when they can touch and feel light. And then, so light is another way of telling a story by creating time, place, or mood, which ultimately gives the play life. And that's it.
So bravo. So shall we do this? Bravo, bravo. So what do you guys think? Any comments? Anybody wants to make a comment before I jump
I
in?
think it. Oh,
Go ahead.
I think you did a really good job of limiting all of your presentations to just pictures, and you went really in depth. And some of the information that you said, you could really tell that you spent time looking into this person, and I think you did a really good job. And it was very like interesting, and every time you would bring up new facts, it just really, I am so tired. I'm trying to put this into words, but it really just displayed the story well.
Thank
If
you.
that makes any sense.
Anybody else? That was a great comment, Aya, and I agree completely with you. In addition, Daniela, the format for the Pecha Kucha you followed completely. The presentation was interesting. It was dynamic. Each time you would say, as what Aya would refer to, some new fact and move along. It was wonderful. It went under right in a right amount of time, like 6.5 minutes. And the choices were great, and the narrative progression was also great. If I can just make one small comment, would be you have such a wonderful range of the examples of her work, and then when you put them like four together, they lose the impact. So when you were having like initial images, like a clip art, which was fun and funky, and it's really illustrate your story, it's still, if you add at least one image of her work to it, it would be really powerful, because it would introduce us and intrigue us in that way in what she's doing. But it's such a minor comment, because your presentation was just supremely successful in every aspect of it. On the level of, what is that you took out from this experience, at the ending with the quote, the array of examples, it was just really incredibly done well. And since you're the first one who broke the ice, I'd say that's going to be A+. It's just really great. And I'm announcing that because I was amazed just watching. How did you decide? I mean, you said because she's a teacher and so forth, but how did you find her specifically for her design choice?
So I was, because I found her from the list that was on our book, and I kind of picked a few like names, like just randomly, and then I kind of searched each one like a little bit, and then she was one of those, and then then I found out that she was like a teacher, so I was like, I have to do her.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much for this. So is this, guys, clear? Anybody that has doubts and issues with the idea of Pecha Kucha, are we on the board with this now? We understand how it needs to get done? Please tell me if you have any questions after this presentation. No? Yes? No? Okay, okay. Very good. Can you just give us a little tip, Daniela, on How did you work through it? Did you write for each slide what you're going to say and then practice?
Yes, I did actually. I took notes for like each slide, what I wanted to say, and then I practiced timing myself, and then like you realize that you kind of go over, and then so you just kind of have to like try to find like the main and most important points, and then just do that. And of course, like make sure you guys practice every and make sure that you guys aren't taking like going past your time. It's doable.
It's really doable if you think like it's just 3 sentences. If you write it, I mean, I know for some people like myself, that was a hard task when I had to present it in the conference, or anytime when I was asked to write my presentation, because I feel I want to be connected to the audience. I like to talk, and then when I feel connection, then I have a really great presentation. But actually, if you prepare this way, like what you did, like the success is guaranteed, because you can project your energy and whatnot, but you're concise and you're not wasting anybody's time. And this is exactly what Pecha Kucha should be about. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much. So I hope that this is helpful for everybody. I'm still waiting to get some more information on your designers. I replied to 2-3 students because one designer was taken. So guys, please reply back with another choice or ask me if you need the help with choices. Okay, so I will post it, what we have so far, or what I know so far. How's that? I have a question though. Are you guys receiving the announcements? And you're receiving it as emails? Okay, I want to be sure because it just feels like I'm sending announcements, and because there's no feedback, I don't know if you just access it. Does it go to your spam folder so you don't see it? So, okay. Because in announcements, like every week, you have things like on Monday, what needs to get done, and some suggestions. All right, so wonderful. Thank you, Daniela. I'm going to share with you guys now what is our next week's assignment. And I'll just move slightly so you can see. You can go, I don't know if you're in a gallery or a speaker view, whatever that you're at. So basically the assignment for this week is to fill in the black box or the model that you have with the set pieces and prop pieces that are done as a white model, and for a bedroom that you designed. So you have to look in the floor plan and perspective drawing that you have, and that is what you want to bring to life. A white model is always white. It's made from thin cardboard, poster board. You can even use the thicker foam core, like a styrofoam, white, as long as it is white. So everything has to be white because the focus is on the placement of the objects, the geography of the space, the functionality, where the entrance exits, what are the objects in the space, can you move around? And that's basically what is the first step in design. Everything else comes later, which is, how does that look like in terms of the color, textures, and so forth. So with the white model, the list of the supplies you have in the class lecture, there are only 2 attachments. One is a PowerPoint where you have tips and troubleshooting and the stages, how to build certain things, which you have the clips in the video in the background. But the actual stages of process are described in a handout or guidelines. So I need you to look at that in conjunction to the PowerPoint, because that will help you with the progression. It takes approximately between 6 to 12 hours to make it. It depends on your skill level and the level of details that you're having. All the floor plans that I received, you guys get the idea on the placement of the walls. So basically you ended up something like this, having a wall that's, this is a 1/2 inch scale that can be bent and then, having a door and such. So you can see here, I have details done with a Sharpie. So you can add some lines. It does not need to be completely white, okay? But it does not want to have any color. Does that make sense so far? This is a little bit thicker drawing paper. If you try to make it from the regular, like a printing paper, it won't be working well for you because it's very flimsy, okay? So you need to find, at Office Depot, you can get any of these like poster boards or Bristol boards or any thicker like cardstock, just plain white. Okay, so that's your main tool, and then you have a glue and the scissors or X-Acto knife, the rulers, and that's pretty much kind of it. You can use the glue gun. So if you look here, this is an open model of the flats that are used. When you have them on the angle, they're much sturdier. I put the platform. Platforms are always a good idea because it elevates the space and make it more interesting. This is the open way of how to do like this armchair, for example. That's an idea. If you have an issue how to build something, contact me. I can help you. But these are simple forms. The bed needs a little bit more work. So this is the list, like looking at the props, like a pillow. So one thing is really important to remember. Fabric on model is always presented with a paper, like tissue paper, or paper towels, or even toilet paper, like you can peel it and have like one layer, because the fabric cannot be presented in the scale to the scale accurately on the model because of the grains. So never ever use any kind of fabric in the model. It starts from the floor plan, then you build the walls. If you did not build a person, this is your time to kind of jump in and fix that. The person gives you the idea of the relative scale. So you can see the scale here of this like large person towards the bed, and obviously she needs to be smaller. So you can play with that idea. The floor is also important. So thinking about the rug or what is on the floor is important when you're designing. In the back, you can see this like tree, which is a masking, and I'll talk in a second about it. So props, like what is that you have in a bedroom that you already draw? Is it like a nightstand? Is there like somebody has a cabinet or a desk? Are there paintings? I mean, all of this you need to compile as a scene list. So what is that you need to create that's visible on the model? From the walls, window, door, are there posters on the wall? Is there mirror? Is there anything like a tabouret, or like, is it an armchair? Is there a standing practical light? So if you write the list down, then you work off from the list, adding pieces. So again, you start from the walls. You can measure the height of the wall in your room and use that as your reference, or you can have a person and then have a relative scale to the person, like how high the walls are. If you want to create a claustrophobic effect, you can go with the walls that are much higher than what would be usual dimension. But what is the most important thing is that you know whose is this bedroom. So before any of these buildings starts, you need to look into your bedroom that you have and think about, okay, if this is that's my bedroom, right? or it's yours. So you look at that and then you think, okay, so what kind of person am I? Or do I want to alter this bedroom to actually belong to somebody else that I want to depict through this bedroom? So who is this person? How old is the person? What gender? What is the profession? What is that? What time of the year? Is it cold? Are there many blankets, or is it quilt, or whatever is in there? Is this person neat, or is it like messy? So do I have to put things on the floor to create this sense of messiness? So think about the character and just like make one paragraph that's going to be in the DJ, but for yourself as the expression of what is that you want to depict in the space with the objects. Is this clear, guys? Because anytime that you design, it's always related to a specific character or storyline that you want to present. And therefore, it's important to know. So if it is your bedroom, think about yourself, what your goals are. Like in this case, like one of these models, the bedroom was made for this like high school student who wants, a girl who wants to be interior designer, and her name is April. So that's why the design has these flowers and flowery patterns, sort of like referencing her name as a spring idea, and also having some intricate details with the bed, because bed is a place also where you can address the character, with a headboard, or what kind of pillows, or what kind of cover is it in there for the bed, or some small details. Just think about it and bring it to life that way. Does that make sense so far, guys? Are you following me? It won't take that much time. I mean, if it is your bedroom, or it is like I don't know, like a superhero's bedroom that changes into something else. Maybe you want to put, you do want to put something that is showing that there's like a superhero quality of this character behind, something that can trigger us to see that there will be a change at some point, or something that's odd in there. Okay, so you can see like the details here, like for the bed, everything can be presented with just with the pen. And there are some issues with the building that you can troubleshoot and cutting that are explained in the actual guidelines. I'm trying to move to the right so you can see better. So like this one, this is a masking. So those are the curtains, black curtains on the top and the side of the stage. And these are the flats that you just see that are covering behind the windows and the doors, the spaces. So if you can see here, like, oh, okay, it's not going to work this way. I'm not like a weather person. I don't know how to do this well. But with the masking, that's the last stage in the model building. So the walls, platforms, if you have props, starting with the bed and then all the other smaller props, everything has to be to the scale. I always keep the person next to the object so that I can judge, does that look right in the proportions and to the scale that I'm doing. Talking about scale, please measure the objects around your bedroom and put the numbers. I mean, you can also do the search online, finding information on the size of the window, the door, the bed and so forth, but you already have the bed measurements. So just add to it whatever that you're making. But you see here the masking. So this is without the masking, the stage. So you can see everything is bleeding. The white here represents the masking upstage. This is the upper border. And these are the walls that are behind the window and the doors. And this is the full developed model. Okay, so the masking are these like black curtains that are on the side basically covering sight lines, sort of this idea, right? That's on the sticks. Somebody asked me from this class, like, is there a way to have a cheaper way, or different sticks? You can get sticks for skewers and connect them if that's like the issue, to have these kind of sticks. And for this guy, okay, for the border, which is basically like a guillotine, it comes from the top and goes down. It's a black curtain that protects from the lights. A shooting, you can have two ways of connecting, and now this is not working. One is like with the black tape, so you can determine the height that way, you know, how much it goes below the proscenium opening, or you can actually, can you see here? You can use the thread. Like needle and the thread are a really good way of hanging things like a fly system. Anything that hangs in the space can be done so that you know in the future. Okay? Is this clear so far? So again, everything starts from the floor plan. Your floor plan is an 8-inch scale. The model is in quaternary scale. So obviously things are going to be larger on the model than what's on your floor plan. Okay. Again, the walls, the platforms, the bed, and then props, and then you can go with the drawing and stuff. And I think there's an example like the standing. It's really up to you. There is not like much of a, oh, it has to be done this way or that way. Okay. As long as you have a clean cut and you know how to make a groove and fold the cardboard, it's going to look neat and very clean. The front elevation, we'll talk about that in the future. That's done from the model. And so, okay, moving. So this is a cyc. Cyc is basically the white curtain in the upstage that covers the back to help you with the lights. So you can create any kind of mood, daytime, nighttime, and things like that. Okay, questions? Guys, is this really clear? So clear, crystal clear? Okay. Are you going to have fun? I hope so. I don't know. Usually it's fun to do it if you think about how you can present it, and it goes pretty fast. Another suggestion though, when you make a wall, you can build it and then fold it. So then it's freestanding. You don't need to worry about like how to prep it and make it stand still. And the other tip is use the hot glue or tape and glue it onto the floor so that it's sturdy, including these guys, like the masking. You can hot glue on tape or tape them onto the top of the model so that they don't move. And so everything on the model has to be somehow like sturdy, otherwise it's falling. But you're not going to be carrying it anywhere beside your home. So it's not something to worry about, but that's usually an issue because anytime that you transport the model, everything is collapsing, and then how do you connect? So I just want to be sure that you guys know that part too as well. Oh, and another tip, and that's also in the presentation, that is the way to make it standing, but sometimes you have an object that is standing like a lamp or has a height and it's thin, or even a person. And this is what I learned in the grad school. Like you use like the cents and just pile them in the back to hold the weight of the object. And that creates like a stability. Okay, we're good. So I will, again, for those that are late, guys, I would like you to keep in mind that you can contact me anytime and set up the meeting so we can go through individual issues, because sometimes it's just, you know, how they'll read the scale ruler. You know, am I doing it correctly? Or, you know, what is it I have to pay attention? And please, when you get the email from me with your grades, respond that I know that you received it. And if you would like to change the grade, I mean to improve it, feel free to do so. I think this week is still a makeup week of sorts because we do not have a lecture and we just need to build a white model. So this is a good time to actually get some assignments either reworked or just submitted it this week, okay, through the whole week. And that is the reason why I pushed the deadline for the writing a paper. As we were speaking last class, and I had an idea that maybe we can use the New Works Festival as one of the production, and I agree on that. So I want to be fair to everybody. So the deadline for the paper is November 1st by midnight. That way you would be able to watch, if you want, the New Works, which is on the 25th, right, Aya?
23rd and 24th.
Okay, 23rd and 24th, thank you. And also to write a paper about it, or you will have time to find a different production as per my recommendation, or if you have one that you prefer to do. Okay, is this clear? Did I go through all the points for this week? It's clear assignment. I'm pushing the deadline for the paper to help you out because I felt we are all here like in this boat together, and it's very hard for everybody. Managing the time and everything and the energy, and so I try to be sensitive to your guys' need, and if you really need more attention, like individual attention, I'm available. I'm repeating that like a broken record, but I just really want you to understand that I'm here for you to help you. Okay? Yes? I don't want to keep you long today. I just, because my energy is just like low, but I want to actually go back to sharing the screen because I think I want to share one more of the journals. And since I'm here with Daniela's examples, I'm going to go and show you another one. Okay, so this is the orthographic projection, the bed, the way that she presented. And here is the recommended practice of the writing the text. There is a video that is showing how to do it. And I did not really have expectations for you guys to have a full comprehension of how to write architectural text, which is a standard for the drafting. But I was expecting at least to make an effort. So this is great. She's presenting this. And then the hand drawing of the ideas of the orthographic projection. And then that's the practice, which exactly what I was expecting to see with the cross-reference lines, then showing the process of the drawing, different stages and how it looks at the end. And she even accomplished to get a very clear writing that's in the style of the architectural font. And again, a reflection. So the aha moment and the realization, why is this important to learn orthographic projection? So see how many pages are here. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I said in a syllabus minimum is 4 pages. You can go further. It depends how you organize things and how many supporting materials you have. So I want to reiterate, guys, does this make sense so far? Is it clear? Okay. I want to reiterate for the next assignment and just point out, guys, there's additional expectation, which is having a research. Okay, so remember how we were doing research for the Hamlet's production, and research is really one of the most important parts of the design process. So we are going back to that idea, doing the research on different types of beds, prop, wallpaper, textures, floor, is it a rug? I mean, whatever is on the floor. So having images that support your model. You don't need to fully execute that, but it helps really with visualizing and understanding how the ending result would be. So it's important to have images, research images in your digital journal for the presentation for the next class. Okay, or I mean next deadline, which is again Sunday evening. So you will see it's written in guidelines, but I just want to you guys to pay attention to that, because this is where the design is starting. So character and the research, a description of the character, research, and then, you know, scenic list. That's always something that I do when I design, because it gives me the scope of things that I need to build in a model. But it also gives me information on, well, how big is the project. So when I'm sharing with technical director, even if I don't have all the design elements executed, I have my list and I show them, the technical director and the director, and talk about that and have a much clearer idea. So so I expect this to see in the journal. You will see it's all listed, but I'm just pointing out if this is maybe reaching out like in a clearer way what the expectations are. Okay, do you guys have any questions? No, I really appreciate your coming to the class and sending me your assignments. I have to say I'm very happy with the model making project that I received so far. And it's kind of funny because you guys are the best class in that sense, because anytime that we do these models in a class, in the studio art and with me present, it's a complete disaster. And I was talking to other faculty who are teaching the similar classes or the same. They had the same experience, and they actually took out the model building expectation. But I think it's important because it's like a doll's house, and it helps you with understanding the scale, and then it's really, it frames your work. So I want to applaud you guys as a group, because you did a wonderful job with the cutting. And even though that like Benjamin is not here, but he was quite witty. He took the Amazon box and made a model out of it and then painted it black. So I thought, oh, that's a cool idea. So maybe, you know, you can do the white model from the cardboard from the Amazon boxes if you have, but you just need to paint them white in that case. So if just thinking about the budget, okay, as well. So guys, do you have any questions? Because I would like to make this class a little bit shorter, and this will give you some more time. And yeah, I need to see the doctor. So anything you want to ask me, or it's not clear from today's talk? So everybody's good? So please reach out to me for individual help, and once when you receive the email with the grades, look at that and think about it, how to improve it, okay? Yes? Thank you very much, Daniela. This was wonderful presentation. I think next Monday we have 2, so there's still 2 more places or spaces if somebody wants to add the their name to the presentation day, which is next Monday, okay? So looking forward to hearing from you all, okay? Have a great day and a week. Bye, you guys.